be a sponge, and then bring the juice.
By focusing on your improvement, by focusing on your progress, and eliminating any fixed mindset that you may have and acts of perfectionism, then you encourage your own mastery.
On some level, we do what we want to do 24 hours a day. Now, sometimes it may not seem like that, but if I'm choosing to work instead of sleep, what I'm actually saying is keeping my job is more important than sleeping.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting beat. What can I do to get over this hump? So mentally, that's when I kind of put that forefront, like, hey, it's either all or nothing.
I like to put failure in quotations because I don't believe that failure is true failure if you're looking at it with the right mindset.
The truth is, the journey to greatness is hard. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes focus, and every day you have to decide what you value, what you want to pursue, and what you want to achieve. And if you dig deep enough, if you push hard enough, we all have what it takes to be great. Welcome to the Edge of Greatness. Hello and welcome back to From the Edge, a new episode format that I've been working on to develop a better understanding of the process to achieving greatness. And one of the things that I wanted to do with this new format is to give everyone a peek behind the curtain of what I'm working on, what I'm dealing with, and how I'm doing my best to stay consistent on the path to greatness. There are a lot of times when I hear someone who's at the top tell their story and talk about the excellence that they've achieved and all the things that they're working on and how we should be doing things a certain way. And I always think, well, that's great. You're there. And I wonder how many other people out there feel the same way. They hear these stories, and not everyone's story obviously is the same, but sometimes when you're hearing people who are at the top tell you how to get there, you wonder if maybe they have a skewed perspective of what they're working through. Not that they didn't have to work through all the little things to get there, but I think sometimes when we get up high enough, we don't necessarily relate to everybody else who's on the mountain behind us. And so what I want to do is share my experiences while I'm trying to climb. And with that, I'm going to be honest and upfront and transparent about all of the struggles and difficulties as well as the successes that I'm working through. So today is June 26th. If you listened to the first episode, you got a little peek into what I was working on. And this week I actually completed the first draft of my new manuscript. And after doing that, I had a realization of just how powerful our why is. Because once I was done with my draft, the following day, I wanted to get up at 5 still. I wanted to keep that streak alive. I wanted to continue to make progress towards getting things done and being that morning person. But because I didn't have to write for my book, or I didn't have that on my list of things to do the next day, I found myself negotiating with what time I had to get up. In my mind, I was like, oh, you can sleep till 5:15, you could sleep till 5:30. And I actually ended up setting my alarm for 5:15, 5:30. Now, interestingly enough, I ended up waking up at 5 anyway. My body and mind have been programmed enough to want to get up at that time. But I didn't feel motivated to. I struggled to get out of bed. It was really an interesting morning for me because it's not so much the task that we choose to do, but the why we do them that allows us to do the uncomfortable things. And I think that's an important piece of all this, is that we end up quitting when things get hard if we don't truly appreciate why we're doing that hard thing. I've done in my life many hard things, but when I look back and think about them, I always understood why I was doing them. I was very good at going to the weight room and putting in extra workouts because the why led to me being a college athlete. I was able to do extra ground balls, extra BP, One, because those things, while they're hard, if you're doing them right, they're also fun. And I had a understanding of my why. The getting up at 5 is not something that I naturally want to do. But if my why is strong enough, so I would get up at 4:30 because I had a client at 5, and that why is enough because I'm helping somebody get better. I would get up at 2:30, 3 o'clock when I would go on vacation to drive through the morning and night when it was a little bit more quiet on the roads. But the why is I'm going to be in the sunshine and have myself, a nice little umbrella drink here in just a few hours. So I can struggle through that discomfort because the why is strong enough. I think if you really want to achieve something, you need to take time to look into what is your why. Not necessarily what's your purpose, because while a purpose is important, and we can talk more about that as we continue through this, the purpose is your overall compass setting. I think the why in the moment is the passion piece. And if you can find a strong enough why that aligns with your purpose, then you're set. But everything you do, if you can locate the why within it, you will be able to achieve more out of it. And so I think that's for me anyway. I can override my natural system that says you want to stay in bed, you want to sleep in, noon sounds like a good wake up time. I can override that system if the why is strong enough to motivate me to get moving. And so that's what I need in my life is each morning when I wake up knowing why I'm doing it, what I'm going to accomplish, and how I'm going to get there. And so for me to go forward, I'm going to get away from the I'm getting up to right mindset to the I'm getting up to put in work so I can feel good about turning everything off when my day's over and spending time with my kids. Because that was the main reason I wanted to write in the morning, is so that way at the end of the day, I didn't feel like I'd gotten to this point and I had nothing accomplished. It's really weird when you're working all the time. If you don't designate certain points to get things done that you have on your list, it's really easy to get through the day and feel like I was super busy and nothing happened. And then you take work home with you. And I think that's one of the biggest downsides of our American culture right now is we don't stop work. It used to be you worked 9 to 5 and you couldn't take work home. It's not like you were going to carry the machines from this factory home with you and start doing some extra work while you're sitting there in the living room watching TV with the family. Let me punch a few more of these whatever's out. That's just not how it was. Now, because we're in this internet technology age, the world never stops working. And so my why is I want to be present for my kids. So I'm going to get this work done. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to knock these things out so I can go and be a father in the evening. And so anyway, I hope that helps. I know I kind of went on a little bit of a ramble there at the end, but I think that's going to be kind of the process of this for a little while. I'm trying to figure out how to best communicate all the things I'm working on, how you can apply it to your life, and how we can all together climb this mountain of greatness and keep going forward. So spend some time this week examining your whys. What's the motivation behind the tasks you choose to complete? If you need any help in discovering those things, please reach out. You can email me at charles@theedgeofgreatnessproject.com. You can find me on social media. I'd love to pick your brain and hear what you've got working. And if there's something specific that has been a struggle for you or a challenge for you, let me know. It's probably been a struggle for me too. I mean, let's be honest. The path to greatness isn't something new and unique. Most people navigate the same challenges in their own unique way. And so if I can help in any way you navigate some of the struggles, then let's make it happen. So as always, guys, keep reaching for the stars. Fall flat on your face, but remember, whenever we fall, always get up. Thank you for joining us today on the Edge of Greatness podcast. If you haven't yet, please take a minute now to subscribe and review our show. Join us again next week as we continue to dig deeper into the key components of greatness. The path to greatness is never linear, so remember to keep pursuing greatness no matter what. Keep stretching your abilities, reach for the stars, and fall flat on your face. But remember, no matter what happens, whenever we fall, always get up. Until next time, I'm Charles Schultz, and this was the Edge of Greatness Podcast.